Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, it is going to be this very simple full face makeup tutorial on this look right here. I feel like this is perfect for date night. I am going out tonight, not on a date, but I do feel like this would be a perfect look for a date night or just, you know, out with your friends, anything like that. But I definitely do feel like this kind of look is perfect for nighttime, considering the fact that the lip is so bold. And speaking of the lip, you guys, I was going to do a eyeshadow look with this look, but I just decided to ditch the eyeshadow and just, you know, do like a full beat. But I was gonna wear lashes, but I decided to just ditch those as well because I just felt like it was a little bit too dramatic with the lip. The lip actually says a lot, like it just makes a statement by itself, so I just feel like I didn't need to add all the extras. So yeah, I actually like how the look came out. It's very simple, you guys. Of course, I did not fully get like how I did this lip, but I did tell you guys exactly how I got it and everything like that. It was originally supposed to be like a little bright red ombre kind of lip, and you guys will see that in the video, but I decided to just go with something a little bit deeper. But yeah, you guys, that is pretty much it for today's intro. I just want to get right into this makeup tutorial. Like I said, it's very simple, you guys, but yeah, everything that I use in today's video is listed in the video, not in the description box or anything like that, because I always show you guys and, you know, talk about the products as I go. So yeah, if you guys would like to see how I got this look, then just continue to watch. Alrighty, boys and girls, so I am starting out with my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I did not show it, but I literally show it in every single video that I do because I always use this primer. So I'm just applying it all over my face. I honestly don't know what has been going on with my face, you guys. That's why I haven't really been on YouTube lately or even on TikTok. I haven't really been wearing makeup like that because my skin has just been going through it. I really don't know why. That actually reminds me I need to freaking schedule an appointment with a dermatologist because it's just been that bad. But anywho, so I just applied that primer. Now I'm going into foundation. I'm going to be taking my NARS Natural Radiant Foundation in the shade Macao. I have not used this foundation in a long time because I've been so obsessed with the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. NARS definitely does the damn thing with the foundation, like complexion products. Don't really care too much for their concealer, but their foundations are amazing. So yeah, you guys, I'm just going to be taking that and I'm using my favorite foundation brush. This is the Face Base brush from Huda Beauty, and I'm just going to be blending that all over my face. This is also something that I feel like I stress often, but I will continue to stress, you guys, and that's just using pouncing motions when you are blending out your foundation. I feel like it definitely does add more coverage, and it also adds more coverage using a brush that's dense like the one that I'm using. It doesn't have to be the exact same one, but I absolutely love this brush because it does add more coverage to my look, and I am a full coverage kind of girl. I don't really like natural looking makeup, honestly. Like, I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm just really not. So yeah, now I'm just taking a little bit of foundation and I'm just putting that on my eyelids. That way we can just have a nice even canvas. So yeah, now I'm going to be moving on to concealer. I am using the Kosas concealer, and if you guys are familiar with my channel, you guys know that I like to go in with a shade that's a couple of shades lighter than my skin tone for the first concealer shade, and then I like to go in with a super bright shade for brightening. So yeah, I'm just going to be taking that and just blending that out. I always like to go in with the deepest one first and just blend that out, and then when I go into my brightness shade, I like to just put that in the inner corners of my under eye area, and then anywhere else that I want to pretty much brighten up. And if you guys would like to see a more in-depth video on the Kosas concealer, just go to my TikTok. I will have my social media handles in the description box below. But yes, you guys, I honestly love this concealer so much. It definitely does not crease on me as much as other concealers do. It's very lightweight and it's like medium to buildable coverage. So yeah, I do recommend this concealer a lot if you guys have not already tried it. So yeah, like I said before, I like to keep it mainly in the inner corner when it comes to my brightness shade, and then just blend it out. But for right now, I'm going to move on to the cream bronzer, and I'm going to be taking the Juvia's Place one. I absolutely love this cream bronzer a lot. I love the shade and I just love the formula. It's not too like radiant, and it doesn't have a shimmer or anything like that, so I really like that. So yeah, I'm just going to be applying that while I let the concealer just sit And also doing this technique does add a little bit more coverage to the concealer as well, but you definitely want to be careful, because if you do that with a concealer that dries matte pretty quickly, you're gonna have trouble blending out the concealer. So just be mindful of doing this technique. You know, just make sure that you're using a concealer that has the right formula to do that technique with. So yeah, I'm just blending that out. So now I'm gonna go into the Huda Beauty powder. I'm using the shade Pound Cake. I didn't show you guys. I'm gonna like show you guys before I do the other side of my face. Once I finally noticed that I didn't show the product on camera, I ended up showing it. But yeah, you guys, I'm just gonna be taking that and setting all of those areas that I highlighted. And I did not go in with cream blush because I wasn't even for sure if I was going to take blush for this look. Honestly, I just wanted to keep it mainly bronzy, so I ended up going in with a blush, but that was like later on, and I didn't feel like it was necessary to try to put a cream over top or anything like that. So yeah, I just pretty much took this powder and, like I said, just set all the highlighted areas of my face. I absolutely love the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Powder. It is my favorite of all time. It's pretty much the only powder that I use for the most part. I do use One Size as well, and One Size is cool, it's cute, but this is the one that I love the most. It just checks off everything for me or what I want in a setting powder. So now I'm going to be taking my MAC bronzer. This is the Sunstruck matte bronzer in the shade Rich Rosy. I really like this shade a lot, you guys. It definitely gives me a really nice sun-kissed kind of look. It is a little bit more on the reddish side when I pair it with the Juvia's Place cream bronzer. I will say that's probably the only thing that I wish was different about this look. I feel like my bronzer was just very, very orangey in my opinion. Typically that's kind of what it always looks like, but yeah, I just feel like it was super orangey this day, but whatever. So I'm going to be taking my favorite product of all time when it comes to my base routine. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch press powder in the shade Pound Cake. I love these press powders so much because it does give me a slight radiant finish, but it's not anything too crazy. It just gives my face like a nice airbrush look, and it gives my under eye such a super, super bright kind of look. So now I'm going to move on to the lip, you guys. My lips look very ashy because I covered them with powder. It's just a way of the lipsticks to just stick better and last longer. If I have any oil or anything on my lips, it's just not going to last as long, and it's not going to be as pigmented. So yeah, that's just a little hack that you could try to do. So like I said, I started off with the ombre kind of lip. It was a bright red kind of lip. So yeah, I just went in with the black first just to give my outer edges a little bit more depth, and then I'm going to go into the first Beauty Bakery lip whip. And that's what I'm pretty much using for the lip, you guys. I didn't say that before, but yeah, I'm using the Beauty Bakery lip whips, and this one is in the shade Raspberry Tiramisu. So yeah, I'm just going to be applying that first, just making sure everything is nice and blended, and then I'm going to be filling it in with Cherry Stiletto. Yeah, that's just going to go into the middle, and I'm just going to do a little bit of blending, add in a little bit more liner, add in more of the lipstick, just making sure everything is nice and blended. So yeah, you guys, that is pretty much how you get the super matte ombre red lip, you guys. It is so beautiful, but when I tried on my top, I just felt like it didn't really go. So I decided to go a little bit deeper with the lip, you guys, and I didn't show that. And yeah, I also threw on my scarf because I spent hours on my hair and it was starting to get really humid in my room and I was not about to mess that up. But yeah, so I went in with the black liner and I just filled it in, and I added more raspberry tiramisu at the end. So yeah, you guys, I ended up going in with a little bit of blush. Like I said earlier, I wanted to use something that blended in really nicely with the bronzer and you really couldn't tell that it was blush. So that shade was perfect. So now what I'm going to do is carve out my lips. I'm just carving out the outer edges. This is a technique that I like to do to just give my lips more of like that crisp kind of look, especially when we're going in with a bold lip like this. And also because I have hyperpigmentation around my mouth area, so I just like everything to look really nice and, you know, cohesive, and just everything can look even. Now I'm going in with both of my one size setting sprays. I like to go in with the mattifying one first and then the dewy one. The mattifying one is just for my makeup to be set and last throughout the day, and then a dewy one is just for my powders to melt all together. So yeah, you guys, this is pretty much the finished look. I hope you all enjoyed today's video and you learned something new, and I will see you guys in my next one.